The Naenka Runner Pros are wireless bone conducting headphones. Now, if you don't know what bone conducting headphones are, all they do is they vibrate the bones on the side of your head rather than using the in-ear method most other headphones use, which directly vibrate the eardrum. I was sent these headphones free of charge, but this video is not sponsored and they do not get to review this content before you. You may be wondering, why on earth would I want bone conducting headphones? Well, there are a couple of reasons. Number one, safety. The benefit of using bone conducting headphones over more traditional headphones is that they sit directly in front of the ear and not in it. This means that you can still hear everything else around you. So this means if you run near traffic, for instance, you can still hear all of that traffic around you, meaning that you can run safer. Number two, competitions. In most organised events like marathons, headphones are actually banned, and that's regardless of whether or not they are a closed course. And you can actually be disqualified from the event if you're caught wearing headphones, and again, this is due to safety. Bone conduction headphones, however, are usually exempt from this rule, and therefore it's probably the best and only way that you can enjoy your music while you run. The headphones work as regular wireless headphones connecting over Bluetooth 5.0, but they also have a built-in music feature. They've got 8 GB of built-in storage, meaning you can put music directly onto the device. Unfortunately, this isn't going to work with downloaded music from things like Spotify or Apple Music. It's only going to work with files that you can drag and drop from your desktop directly to the device. It basically works like a thumb drive. In fact, that's exactly what it is. You can put whatever you like on there. So if you really wanted to run with a copy of your passport on your headphones, you could. The Runner Pros are IPX8 waterproof, meaning if you really want to, you can actually swim in them. Although if you're going to do this so you can listen to music while you swim, you're going to need to use the built-in feature because Bluetooth does not work underwater. They also feature a mic, so you can take phone calls on them if they're connected to your phone, or you can use them for in-game voice chat if you're playing online. There's nothing clever here, just a bunch of buttons, and quite frankly, that's fine by me. I have yet to find a touch interface on headphones that I don't find immensely frustrating. I don't use them on my iPods, and I don't use them on my Sony headphones. They're just too annoying. Here you get a power button which also doubles as a mode switcher, switching between the Bluetooth option and the inbuilt music feature. It also allows you to enable the Bluetooth pairing feature. Oh, and you can play pause with it too. In addition to the power button, there's a volume rocker. This also acts as a skip forward and back if you hold either the plus or minus buttons. You get some fairly simple audio feedback when you turn them on and off, as well as when you are switching between modes.
Power on, Bluetooth mode. Power off.
Pairing the Runners Pro was fairly simple, although I found the instructions pretty useless, to be honest. So my advice would be to just ignore them and pair them the same way you would any other device, and you should be fine. I managed to pair mine with my iPhone 12 and also with my Garmin 245 Music. The build quality of the Runners Pro overall is pretty good. They're constructed from a soft touch plastic with rubber pieces on the speaker parts and around the back. This provides some additional grip when you're running with them and keeps them roughly in place. The fit and finish isn't quite what you'd expect from one of the more premium brands of headphones, but it's okay. If you've never used bone conducting headphones before, then you should be aware that you're not going to get the same sound quality that you would out of a regular pair of decent in-ear headphones. And that's regardless of whether it's from this brand or one of the other bone conducting headphone brands. That said, I found the sound quality of these to be okay, but not great. I am by no means an audiophile, but I found the sound to be a little muffled and also at the same time a little tinny. They do their best to produce some bass, and you can actually feel that on the side of your head, but it's not going to be anything that's going to blow you away. I would liken the sound to that of somebody playing music from a phone speaker next to you. Again, I think this is as much to do with the bone conduction technology as it is to do with these in particular. It's worth mentioning that at maximum or close to maximum volume, there will be a little bit of sound leakage. So somebody sitting really close to you is going to hear exactly what you're listening to. So if you're listening to your cheesiest of tunes, then it might be a good time to skip forward to something a little bit less embarrassing. Speaking of volume, the maximum volume is a little bit lacking. So if you're using them in a really noisy environment, they are going to struggle to drown out that noise, bearing in mind that your ears are open. Running next to a noisy road, for instance, may well drown out the sound from the headphones altogether. The Runners Pro are pretty comfortable for me, but they do take a little bit of getting used to. Ordinarily, when I run, I use these. These are the second generation regular AirPods. So going from something like those that I often forget that I'm wearing to wearing something like this crazy contraption, you're going to notice a difference. They're easy to take on and off, just hooking over the ears, but one thing to mention is that there's no adjustment on those ear hooks. They're made of hard plastic, so if you've got particularly big ears, this may be an issue for you. I myself have got quite small ears, so I haven't had any issues, but there's no adjustment like you get on something like the Powerbeats Pro ear hooks, for instance, where you can actually bend and reshape them to suit. I personally have found the fit to be pretty secure even when running, with little or no bounce, and I've even worn them with sunglasses, and again, they've been just fine. The overall weight of the Runners Pro is around 35 grams, so it's pretty lightweight on your head, which adds to the comfort. Charging is via proprietary and, as usual, far too short magnetic to USB-A cable. The magnet on the charger only lets you attach the cable one way, but it's a little weak. It's really easy to accidentally knock it loose and then not charge the device at all. Charging time is around 2 hours from fully flat to fully charged. The Runner Pros have a 230 mAh battery and stated battery life is around 6 hours. In my testing, I've found that to be fairly accurate when using the inbuilt music feature. However, when I was Bluetooth streaming, one time I took them out over 2 runs, I only got around 3 hours. So if you're planning on doing some long runs, it may be wise to charge them before each of those runs. While I don't think the Runner Pros will replace my AirPods as my main running headphones, they are useful to have in the arsenal. So should you buy them? Well, that's a difficult one for me to answer. They're easy to use, they're comfortable, and they have that option to either stream or use the built-in music player. But they're by no means the only bone conducting headphones on the market. And at around $130, they're definitely not the cheapest. There are far more recognizable brands at a far lower starting price than these. Aftershocks, for instance. And while I personally haven't used these for more than about 30 seconds, I would find it difficult to recommend the Runner Pros over one of these more established brands. However, if built-in storage really is important to you, then you might find it difficult to find something comparable in terms of storage for price as you will on the Runners Pro. Ultimately, it comes down to what features are important to you. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Have you tried Aftershocks? Are they any good? That's it for this one. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.